going to show you guys 7 important lessons that I learned, because it is definitely a little bit different in 2023 than it was in 2022. Just a little bit. You know, we had the Tesla splits, we had the Amazon splits, so option trading on its own has definitely taken a different shift. And today I'm going to show you guys 7 lessons that I learned from that. Now, the first thing is to not get comfortable. That is probably one of the biggest things that a lot of people were not able to overcome, and that is why they're just down a huge hole from 2022 to 2023. They weren't able to adapt quick enough. As you guys saw, Tesla and Amazon split. A lot of people were trading options, especially in how I trade. They were trading options on Amazon and on Tesla, and they were able to captivate huge moves. We were able to make 40%. Amazon stock would be down $80, and you know, we would absolutely bank on that. But times have changed, right? They split, so obviously they're not going to be able to go down $40, or that's just catastrophic for the stock itself on the day. So it's definitely a little bit harder to trade these individual stocks, which is why I moved over to trading SPY towards literally right after Tesla split. Because after Tesla split and I traded Tesla for the first time, it wasn't that great of an experience, we'll just say that. So that's why I started to expand out a little bit, and I started trading SPY more, almost kind of the same strategy in a way, and I kind of fully developed on SPY later in the year by trading off of just intraday zones, learning its price action thoroughly. This is what I'm talking about with, you know, changing, right? You have to be able to adapt. Tesla and Amazon split, for example, and then we were able to go over to SPY, and then I started trading Tesla and Amazon again as I saw that volatility started to come in again towards the beginning of 2023. I didn't just leave it and forget about it. You know, I was waiting for the right moment to strike. Just because I switched over to trading SPY mostly at the end of the year last year in 2022, that does not mean that I just forgot about Tesla and Amazon. Tesla and Amazon were always in the back of my mind, and I just had to wait for price action to present itself. Now, as you guys can see, I'm still trading a lot more of SPY recently, but I'm also trading those individual stocks as I feel that these stocks have been moving. These are very volatile now again, which is amazing, but we had to wait. And that is the second thing, is patience. Being impatient is probably one of the biggest things that comes to a lot of traders' downfalls. Patience is key. Now, especially with SPY more recently, you have to be patient. Tesla, Nvidia, again, I was always the type of person that would trim, you know, trim. But as I started getting into 2023, times have definitely changed. And when I say I used to trim a lot, I used to trim 50% here, another 50% here, another 50% here, until I only had 5% left of my position, and it wouldn't do anything if this ran another 1,000% or so. So what I mean with patience, just waiting for the move, right? If the stock can only go one of two ways, up and down, right? And if there's a very, very small chance that this is going to go down and you're in calls, why sell just yet, right? Wait for it. It comes up, people are taking profits, come down a little bit, then goes back up. Don't get out if it's super strong in your favor just yet. Yeah, you want to secure profits, but why secure profits when the price action is telling you that it's going to keep going in your direction? There's no point in securing profits, because that is literally an emotional decision. You're not trading it off the chart. Taking profits is just another word for I'm making the emotional decision to take some off here to get cash flow for the business, but instead I'm not trading off the chart, because if you're trading off the chart would tell you to not take profits right here just yet. Take profits based off the chart. And the third thing that I want to get into is optimization. Optimization is huge. As you guys have been seeing me trade more and more, I've been 8% of my account almost every single day this week. 7% on Monday, I was up like 10% on Tuesday. When it just keeps going, right? I used to hit like maybe 1 to 2% of my account per day. Now I'm hitting 5 to 10%, which is pretty insane. I've been withdrawing literally twice a week now, and it's just the way that I've been optimizing. I don't trim when I trade SPY. On individual tickers like Tesla, Nvidia, all that stuff, I'll take a little bit off, because, you know, these are the breakouts, and the breakouts don't really last long. The way that I trade SPY is totally different. The way that I trade SPY is essentially like a fake out. I wait for people to get faked out, and that's when I enter. It is the most high probability, huge move potential trade that I have, that I figured out how to take. when I get in the position, it's such a high win rate because if it's not going to go down, right, and everyone got faked out to the downside because they thought it was going to keep going, and I see it reversing, right, that's when I'm going to get in because it has a very, 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 very low chance of going back down, right, and it has a very, very, very high chance of coming up, and not just coming up 10 cents, coming up 30% of your position. And it's been working. You know, every time that I trade SPY, I'm getting 25-30%, and that is full position size. Imagine making 30% full position size every time you trade SPY. I used to be just a strictly breakout trader, and now it's just, I've taken SPY to a whole another level. It's essentially like a reversal breakout, but at a very, very high probability area. And what else is huge is that risk to reward. Risk to reward makes up everything. You could have a 40% win rate, and as long as you have a 3-to-1 reward to risk, that means every time you win, you make 300, and every time you lose, you make 100, for example. All you need is a 35-40% win rate, and you will be profitable. I mean, the math is mathing right here. It makes sense. If I lose 6 out of 10 times and I win those 4, I just made $1,200 because 4 times 300 is $1,200, and 6 times 100, remember you only lose $100 every time you lose, you just made $600 on a 40% win rate. There's literally no excuse to not be profitable. You just gotta dumb it down, right? You just gotta make it simple. I'm the type of person that I like to make everything super simple. You know, I hate when people overcomplicate so much stuff that doesn't need to be overcomplicated. What is the quickest way from me to you, right? It's straight, right? A to B, straight. Step back, take a moment, and be like, how can I make this simple? Because you guys are overcomplicating the most simple part of trading. The hardest part of trading is your mindset and your emotions and executing. The trade is the easiest part, the strategy is the easiest part, but it's actually executing is where people are lacking, and that is my next thing. Worry about your execution more so just your strategy itself. The strategy could be there. If your execution is lacking, you're not going nowhere, right? You have to be able to execute. You could have the fastest car in the world, but if you can't execute your mindset to go over 80 miles per hour, it doesn't matter, right? You have the potential to go 300 miles per hour. Now, the second to last thing that I want to leave you guys off on is stop comparing yourselves. Number one, it took me 1.5 to 2 years to be able to become profitable. And for the first year, honestly, it didn't feel like it was going to be real. I never doubted myself becoming profitable, but I never saw myself becoming profitable because that's literally not the reason why I got into trading. I literally thought it was fun, right? That's it. Like I was just passionate for trading because it looked cool, right? It was fun. You know, back then, there wasn't all these people flashing all this money and stuff like that. Like back then, it was just, oh, you know, here's a chart. Oh, I'm trading Apple. Like back in the day, trading Apple, like that was the coolest thing ever to a 15-year-old. I got the wrong idea when it comes to trading because they think that they can get it in a week. And I mean, if you think you're gonna get a dream job and you're gonna get it down and you're gonna be super profitable in a week, I'd probably go get checked out, to be honest, because that is just not possible. I mean, the barrier to entry is so minimal when it comes to actually trading that everyone thinks that they can do it. And most people give up way before they're able to get it down, right? They give up after a month. They're like, oh, this is supposed to be easy. Why would this be easy? I mean, if you could make the amount of money that I make in an hour and you think you're gonna be able to get that in the first week of trading, you're definitely in the wrong mindset. I don't know what you got that impression from, where you got the idea from, but you know, my YouTube videos and stuff like that, to where I'm able to make how much I'm able to make in literally minutes, is 5-6 years behind that, right? It took me 5 to 6 years to be able to figure out how to make that in literally a couple minutes. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They don't realize that. They think all they gotta do is click a button and they'll be able to make the same amount. Absolutely not. And if you are able to do that within 1 week, most likely you don't have the proper trading plan, and you probably full ported, or you have way too much money in the market, and within a month or two, this thing is it's just gonna be blown because you did not build the house on the proper foundation. And as soon as a storm comes in, your roof is gonna collapse because you didn't have the proper foundation. And my last point is, it takes time. Like I said this whole entire video, it literally takes time. You're not gonna be able to get it just like that. And watching this video is not going to do anything unless you take action. And just think about yourself when I'm talking to you, right? When I'm saying this stuff, are you the type of person that needs this, or are you the type of person that just wants to watch this because you think this is going to be the secret formula to success, right? Every time I make these videos, I feel like I'm talking to my younger self, and I want to talk to my younger self. It takes a lot of time, right? It takes a lot of hard work. If you're only back testing on the weekends, you're missing out, right? If you're the type of person that, on a Friday night, you're going to go to the club, and then you're like, oh, Saturday, I'll be able to get it done. And then Monday hits, and then you're like, all right, I'm good to go. I back tested for a couple hours on Saturday, and now I'm good to go. Backtesting is not going to do anything either. What are you backtesting? Backtesting is literally just showing you the strategy. And like I said earlier, the strategy is the easiest part. Why are you backtesting the easiest part? Once you get that down, once you get the strategy down, it's really not that hard after that. The hardest part is executing, and backtesting will literally not show you that because there's no emotions when it comes to backtesting. You're literally backtesting. You're literally sitting there looking at the past. How does that help you? Right? Besides learning your strategy, after that, how does backtest really help you? It does not help you with the emotions. It doesn't help you what you really need help with. And I promise you, if you're really struggling out there in the market, it's either you're just flopping around strategies, or you already have the strategy down, but it's your emotions and your execution that's not allowing you to apply the strategy itself. Because I think most strategies are actually profitable. It's just you're the problem when it comes to being profitable with every single strategy, and that's the problem. Literally, I could probably just trade VWAP and I'll be profitable. Why? Because it's my mindset. It's how I was able to train myself. And you're not going to be able to get that if you're unprofitable, right? It's the person that you got to become. It's the mindset that you got to develop in order to be profitable with any strategy out there. Because if you don't have the proper mindset, then you don't have the proper foundation. And if you don't have the proper foundation, what happens? Your house blows over. So hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, consider subscribing, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.